Today, we're going to talk about three of the best business credit cards that you can use to grow your business. Some are based on personal credit, some are based on business credit. But of all of the clients we've helped, the millions, probably, I guess now, business credit cards we've helped clients secure, these are three of the best business credit cards that the smartest of business owners are using right now to be able to grow their business. And these are three business credit cards you as well can get to grow your business. So today during this training, I'm going to map out these three, talk about each one, talk about the perks, talk about the benefits, talk about the points, the interest rates, everything you would need to know to go in and secure all three of these credit cards. Now, first of all, let's start with the beginning. Remember, before you apply for any credit card, any credit line or loan, let's not forget you've got to make sure your business is fundable. Now, I'm not going to dive into every aspect of fundability today. We could be here for hours to do that. But remember, fundability is basically the credibility of your business. This is where most business owners get turned down. So if you're applying for loans, you're applying for credit cards, you're applying for credit cards, and you're getting turned down or not getting as much high enough approvals as what you'd like, or paying higher interest rates than you'd like to pay, it almost always relates back to fundability. So we got to make sure at least that our business foundation is set up strong, a separate address for our business, a separate phone number for the business. The business is listed online in directories and all that information is congruent and the same. You have a merchant account for your business, a bank account for your business. You have a separate license for your business, a professional website, a professional email address, et cetera, et cetera. These things, every aspect, every item that you put on an application, you need to make sure that it reflects that your business is credible. You should know the industry you're in. You should know the NAICS code for that industry. You should make sure that that industry code isn't high risk. You should make sure that the actual, there's nothing in your name, your business name, that reflects your high risk. But this is what gets you turned down, bottom line. I can't tell you how many clients we've helped change one little thing that I just mentioned, and they immediately started getting approvals. So if you don't do that stuff, you're going to get more approvals than denials. But if you do that stuff, that's what gets us automated approvals. That's what gets us pre-screened offers, which is what our goal is here. Our goal is for lenders to chase us not chase them. Our goal is to get the highest approvals that we want to get, to be able to get the lowest interest rates, and all of that comes down to fundability. So let's not forget to start there. Now, if you're just coming in, tell me where you're coming in from. I'd love to give you a shout out. We've got Till Young to be here. Happy to be here, and opposed to other places. I appreciate that, Till Young. Thank you very much. Okay, so once we've got the fundability down, now it's time to start getting credit cards. There's a lot of options. Look, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of credit lines available for you right now. And a lot of them, almost all of them, are based on business credit quality. So just by building your business credit, you literally open up unlimited access to capital. You open up hundreds and hundreds of these credit lines that you could use to grow your business. And by the way, these credit lines, a lot of them available with vendors, pay for nearly 90% plus of everything you need to buy. So if you just built your business credit and access these credit lines, you get 9 out of 10 things that you need to buy for your business, you'd be able to pay for using that. So let's start with one of my number one best business credit cards that smart business owners use, and it is the Sam's Club credit card. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not a Sam's Club credit card. You can only use the Sam's Club. Sam's Club actually has two credit cards. They have their own credit card, which is basically a vendor account. And by that, I mean a vendor account means you can only use it with that vendor. So the Sam's Club credit card that's their vendor account, you can only use at Sam's Club. But their other card, their MasterCard account, you can actually come in and you could use anywhere. You could go use the Sam's Club MasterCard. You could use it at Costco, for example. This is called Universal Credit. So Universal Credit's credit we can use anywhere. It's a Visa, it's a MasterCard, it's an American Express. It's credit cards we can use anywhere we want to use them. And a vendor credit card we can only use for that vendor. So when it comes to Sam's Club, they have two credit cards you can get. They've got their vendor account that you can buy it, get it stuff at Sam's. We have clients get approved for $10,000 to $30,000 limits all the time with that credit card in about 90 days or less from starting to build business credit. Then they've got their actual universal card. This is a universal credit card that you can use anywhere the Visa, MasterCard is accepted. Now, what I like about this card is that there's no personal guarantee. There's no personal credit check. This account you're able to get just because you've successfully built business credit. And as you start to obtain more accounts on your business credit report, this Sam's Club Universal Credit Card becomes available to you. So again, don't forget, the Universal Card you can use anywhere that Visa and MasterCard are accepted. Now, another thing I love about this is that there's no annual fee at all. You like a lot of credit cards out there, you don't have to pay hundreds of dollars or even thousands for some of them to pay an annual fee. With the Sam's Club Universal Card, there is no fee, but you do have to have a Sam's Club membership in order to actually get the credit card. Now, I'm not positive if you cancel the membership, if they cancel the card. I don't know that, but I do know that you have to have the membership initially to qualify to get Sam's Club Universal Credit Card. So there's no annual fee, but you need to have the Sam's Club membership. Obviously, their goal by issuing the credit card is to get you to try to buy stuff there at Sam's Club. By the way, everybody, thanks for coming in. Steven is coming in from Long Island, Detroit, Michigan. Willie, thanks for coming in. We got somebody here from New Jersey as well. L. Parker's back in the house. Brian Funk, I'm back. Brian, Colorado is from a bit of the Air Force Academy out there. I love it here. DD, I love you. William Mack, everyone has a blessed day. Appreciate that. Oh, really? Sam's Club MasterCard is called a universal credit card. So keep in mind that any kind of Visa or MasterCard or American Express is called universal credit. Universal meaning it can work anywhere. So when we talk about universal credit, we're always talking about a MasterCard, a Visa, something to that effect. Okay, so that being said, the other thing I love about Sam's Club is you get 5% cash back on gas in the United States and all the gas stations at Sam's Club and Walmart fuel stations as well. So keep in mind that a lot of credit cards, when it comes to incentives, when it comes to bonuses, when it comes to cash back rewards, they're incentivizing you to do something, usually spend the money some which way or form. And what I mean by that is that some credit cards will reward you for buying groceries. Some will reward you for buying office supplies. Some will reward you for buying fuel. They all kind of have a different motivation. So when you're deciding on what credit card to apply for, it's one of the things you want to look at with their perks is what are they incentivizing you to buy, and do you buy a lot of that stuff? Like, for example, for me, I don't buy any groceries using my business credit cards. Now, I used to. When I used to actually be in a physical office and a bunch of people in there, we would stock the fridge, right? We would get water. We would get beer sometimes for after hours. We'd have beer in the fridge. We would buy like all kinds of stuff for our team that was in that office. Okay, so that being said, we would use like groceries and buy a lot of groceries for that office. But I don't do that now, so that doesn't appeal to me. I also don't need fuel. I don't need cash back on fuel because I don't use my business credit cards because I don't have a company vehicle. I don't have a fleet of vehicles. So if I'm looking at the right credit card for me, then incentivizing me to spend money on groceries and fuel, that's not for me. But I spend a lot on office supplies. So if I'm getting cash back rewards on office supplies, that would be a motivator to me. So you've got to figure out what you're spending a lot of money on, and you want to look at these rewards, these cards that have the best rewards to buy that kind of stuff. Now, you're also getting 3% cash back on Sam's Club purchases as well. So obviously a no-brainer if you're buying stuff at Sam's Club because you're getting an additional 3% on your money. And you're getting 3% back at restaurants. So if you're spending a lot of money on business dinners, for example, this could be a big reward for you as well. And 1% on all other purchases. One of the reasons you should be buying everything with a business card, because we get cash back rewards on our American Express card, right? So let's say cash across the board on American Express. Well, I can go pay for ads, which we do. We spend $100,000 a month on advertising on Facebook and Google. $100,000, right? So if we think about that $100,000, I can spend that from our bank account. We have the money to pay for that every single month. But if I use my American Express card, then I pay off that American Express card. I pay it off before any interest is accrued. So I'm not acquiring any interest. There's no cost for me using the Amex card to run those ads. But the benefit is pretty big because if I'm spending $100,000 a month on ads, I'm getting an extra $3,000 a month back every single month in cash rewards, money that I just wouldn't have gotten. Like literally, like I have a debit card, I have an Amex card. If I use Amex, I make $3,000 extra a month. If I use debit, I don't make that $3,000 a month. Now think about that. And a lot of us, the way we run our businesses, those profits go to us, right? So just think about this for a second. So that would mean that at the end of the year, I have an extra $36,000 that could potentially be in my pocket just because I use this credit card for spending versus this credit card. Nothing else is different, right? I don't pay interest on either one of them. The only thing is one gives me cash back. So I get, in this example, $3,000. Well, actually, excuse me, I misspoke. In this example, we said 5% cash back. It's even better. So if I'm using my Amex credit card, I'm getting 5% cash back spending money on Facebook ads in this example, right? And if I use my debit card, I get no cash back. So I'm getting $5,000 a month cash back just because I'm using my Amex card, and I pay it off before interest is accrued. So at the end of the year, that gives me $60,000 in extra money, of which, if I'm doing my business the right way, much of or all of that profit would go right in my pocket. Now, some business owners will only put a portion of the profits in their pocket, okay? And some of them will put all of it. So, for example, with Credit Suite, we put a large portion of our profits back in the company to grow the company. One of my other buddies owns a reputation management company. 100% of the profits they pull out and give it to the shareholders. So in this example, if you were the shareholder of your business and you took your profits out, just by using a credit card for that same purchase you could use a debit card for, you'd be putting $60,000 in your actual pocket just for doing that, just for actually using a different credit card to pay. That's why we got to look at cash back. That's why we want to look at rewards. And by the way, sometimes the rewards are hotels. Sometimes the rewards is air travel. So in a lot of cases, you might use your American Express, as I do, right? So American Express is the main credit card we use for a lot of different stuff. And then every time we use it, we get rewards, right? Those rewards are vouchers for free travel. So that allows me to then use that for business travel, or even just stockpile those and use those for international trips for me and my family if I want to. That's your call of what you use those rewards for. But I can't tell you how many stories of my friends that are using cashback rewards to take international trips all over the world. They pay for their hotels in these luxurious places. They pay for first class air accommodations all the way over the seas to wherever they're going. So there's a lot of benefit of using cashback rewards. It's why we want to use these credit cards to pay, because we could be stockpiling cash, using that cash to buy ourselves or a family or a business something nice at the end of the year. We could be using it for free air travel and go on vacations. We could be using it for hotels and stay in nice places. This cashback rewards is a no-brainer for us. We just have to focus on what we want those rewards for. Do we travel a lot? Maybe we want to use an airline card. Do we stay in hotels a lot? Maybe we want to use a Marriott Bonvoy card. Do we buy groceries, I said, or do we do these other things? This is the reason that cashback rewards are so important. So Steven says, hey, how do you build business credit when you don't have any and they go by your personal credit, which is working currently? Okay, so first of all, if you're building business credit the right way, they never look at your personal credit report and score, period. Your personal credit quality does not matter. If you're building business credit the right way, you never need to use it. You would start with vendors like Uline and Granger and get them added to your business credit reports. Okay. Then after you have about 5 of those accounts reporting, now most retail credit becomes available. Retail at Sam's Club, Costco, and Staples, Office Depot, Home Depot, Lowe's. Then you start getting that and using that without a personal guarantee credit check. The more credit you get, the more credit becomes available. None of it is linked to your personal credit card. Steven, if you want help with that, then I'm going to go ahead right now and throw up a business credit building guide. The you can go to creditsuite.com/EIN to grab it. The URL is right there. You can also just scan the QR code, and this maps out the exact steps to take to be able to successfully build your business credit. By the way, fantastic question. Okay, and DL says, hey, do you still have to establish vendor accounts before getting the Sam's Club Visa? So great question. Let's talk about this. So when it comes to building business credit, then in order to go get the Sam's Club Visa card, which is what's called universal credit, you need to have about 14 accounts on your business credit reports before you can get to universal credit. To get auto financing and universal credit without a guaranteed credit check, you need about 14 accounts. Now, once you get those 14 accounts, the whole world opens up. One of our clients got $185,000 at Ford. Another one of our clients got $350,000 pre-qualified for auto financing, all without guarantees and credit checks. So to answer your question, yes, you need to start building your business credit, and you need to have accounts reporting on there before you make it to the universal credit. The universal credit you're not going to get until you have about 14 accounts total on your business credit reports and scores. So I love that. Okay, and DDD says, hey, no fees for Sam's Club Universal Card, 5% cash back, 3%. Yep, and I love all that. What is a Sam's Club Universal MasterCard interest rate? So let's talk a little bit about that as well. So interest rates on the MasterCard are about the same as any other credit card. And what I mean by that is usually it ranges from about 5 to 15%, depending on what the prime interest rate is. That's what the Fed keeps raising, so interest rates go up. But typically, depending on your credit, you're at about 5 to 13% on the Sam's Club MasterCard. Just to give you some feedback. Paul says, great info. I love that. And Anika says, website. You can go right to Sam's Club. You can just go right to Sam's Club. You'll find their corporate credit card right there that you're able to apply for with no personal guarantee. Remember, you cannot get this credit card unless you have 14 accounts in your business credit reports. And if you need help with that, I'll throw again this up. You can go to creditsuite.com/EIN, and that can actually give you a free guide that helps make it easy for you to be able to build your business credit. So card number 2, Chase Bank Inc. Business Cashback Rewards Card. I love this card. 5% cashback on up to $25,000 in purchases, and it resets annually. So every year you spend 25 grand, you get 5% of that cash back. Okay, which let's just think about that. That's about $1,250 in cash back you're getting on that. 0% interest for the first 12 months. This is a fantastic credit card if you're going to buy something and you need some time for that thing to net a reward for you. So for example, maybe you're going to flip a home, and this will give you the money you need at 0% to buy the house, rehab the house, flip it, and make your money. Maybe you're going to go you're testing Facebook ads, it's working, and now you want to scale Facebook ads. You could do this at 0% till you get everything worked out and pay 0% interest while you're figuring that out. So I'm a really big fan of using this 0% to be able to buy something I need to buy that's going to give me a return, but I might not get that return right away. Okay, so some things to keep in mind there. You get $750 bonus cash back after you spend $6,000 in purchases for the first 3 months. So not only are we getting 5% cash back the first 25 grand we spend, but we get another $750 back just because we spend the first 6 grand. So if we get the credit card and spend within 3 months, we spend 6 grand, and then we spend 25,000 within the year, that total money is like $2,000 that we get just in cash back. Now you can just put that back into your business, which I personally don't think is that much fun, or you can acquire the points, acquire the rewards, and use it to do cool things. Like I said, for a really cool trip that you're taking, anything else that you can use it for. But a lot of money to cash back. It's nearly a couple grand that you're getting in cash back when you look at this. Now, you also get 5% cash back on the first $25,000 in combined purchases at office supply stores and on internet, cable, and phone services every year as well. So not only are you getting 25 back just because we spent money on the card, we get another 5% back as well when we're using that money on things like internet, cable, phone services, office supplies. So if we're using our credit cards to pay some of our utilities and buy office supplies, we get another 5% back with this Chase Inc. credit card. And we also earn 2% cash back on the first $25,000 we spend on combined purchases at gas stations and restaurants every year as well. So again, we're back to this idea we talked about earlier. It really depends on what you're using the credit cards for. If you're using it for restaurants, or you're using it for gas stations. In this example, we have office supply stores, we've got internet, we've got cable. If we need to have that kind of stuff paid for, well, then this is a great credit card to do it. And by the way, as you build more business credit and get more of these credit cards, then it really helps because you're going to know, I use this credit card for office supplies. I use this credit card for this reason. It helps you diversify and also spread out your spending over multiple cards, which then more credit issuers and lenders see you're using that credit, and it makes it easier for you to get future credit as well. You're also earning 1% cash back on all other purchases with no limit to the amount that you can earn. Employee cards you can get at no additional cost. You can also set individual spending limits for those employee cards as well. And you can earn rewards even faster when you do so because your employees are using those cards with whatever limits you put in place. You can also redeem those points that you're getting for physical cash back, for rewards on gifts that they offer as well, on travel, and even more through what they call the Chase Ultimate Rewards program, which is basically their main name for all the rewards program that they have for all of their credit cards. And you can monitor and protect your business with fraud protection, purchase protection, personalized account alerts as well. So this Chase Bank Inc. Credit card, let me give you the exact name. It's Chase Bank Inc. Business Cash. cash. So this is one of the best Business Inc. cards you can get. Chase has a lot of them, but remember the Chase Bank Inc. Business Cash card is the one that gives you the maximum rewards. It's the maximum rewards that we found on any Chase credit card, and quite honestly, it's one of the best rewards credit cards that we found of any of them that's out there. Now, DL says, does Florida have homestead laws to protect your property like people say that Texas does? They do. Florida does have homestead, and they actually give you like discounts, like $25,000, $50,000 discount on your primary residence as well as part of that homestead property. And Tim Taylor says, advice for a trucker? Yeah, absolutely. Fuel cards are a great benefit for you, Tim, because when we look at fuel cards, they can pay for repair, maintenance, and fuel vehicles. And that's probably one of your biggest expenses. Another thing to think about is you also want to consider building business credit to make it easier to purchase trucks. So we have a lot of our clients that are actually building business credit and using their accumulated business credit to be able to qualify for equipment financing or auto financing to buy new trucks. So keep in mind, nearly 100% of what you spend money on as a trucker, business credit will pay for, including being able to pay for fuel at almost every major fuel station across the country, as well as repair, maintenance of vehicles, even buying new trucks. So it's a matter of building business credit and figuring out what fuel stations, Tim, you go to the most. And those fuel stations you go to the most also have accounts that you're able to get approved for, business credit accounts you're able to get approved for. And a lot of times our clients get $10,000 to $50,000 limits. Pilot Flying J is notorious for giving our clients $10,000 to $20,000 a week limits to spend. So a lot of our clients are actually getting $40,000, $70,000 in Pilot Flying J, but you got to decide what gas stations you use. Wawa, BP, Chevron, Sunoco, all of them offer corporate credit without a personal guarantee credit check. And Tim, there's a lot of fleet cards out there for you as well. Now, DL says, hey, if I want to buy acreage of land, can I pay for that with credit card or a land purchase required to be paid by escrow or wire transfer of funds? Well, most title companies out there, it depends on how you buy it is the answer. If you're buying it from a private individual, you can use a credit card all day long. I'm in the land business. I own a lot of land out in Nevada, and I basically buy it wholesale, and then I basically sell it on terms. I let people pay me over time. So as a result of that, I can use credit cards to buy for land all the time, but I'm buying the land from individuals. Now, if I go through a title company and I'm doing my own due diligence research and everything that normally a title company would do, if I'm using a title company for that purchase, then I would actually need to be able to use something other than a credit card. A title company won't let you use a credit card to purchase property, but you can liquidate, take the cash out of the credit card, and then use that to buy property. So we've got a program called Credit Line Hybrid where you can get up to $150,000 in 0% revolving credit. And a lot of our clients, we help them take the cash out at 0%, and they use that cash to buy investment properties, for example. So you could take the cash out, and you can buy land. You can buy from an individual and use a credit card. But title companies, if you go through a title company, they're not going to typically allow you to do that. But great question. I appreciate you asking that as well. Tavanda, hey, good afternoon, Ty Cradle and the entire Credit Suite team and everyone. Tavanda is watching from Houston, Texas. Tavanda, thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate that as well. And by the way, I did throw up Credit Line Hybrid here. I didn't. Somebody on my team secretly did behind me. So if you are interested in Credit Line Hybrid, this is where you can get up to $150,000 in no-doc credit lines. You got to have good credit or a guarantor that has like a 700 type credit. But if you're interested in that, you can scan that QR code and check out the link right there on that the QR that we threw up on the page as well. Okay, so my third favorite business credit card that smart business owners are using now is the Blue Business Plus credit card from American Express. Look, American Express is one of the best credit cards you're ever going to be able to get and use. It's not the best if you're a business owner that accepts American Express, because almost anybody can do a chargeback dispute with American Express like 6 months or a year later and still win. But if you are using it as a business owner, it's one of the best credit cards that I found that's out there. Now, the Blue Business Plus card is a rare example of a no annual fee way to gain your rewards earnings. So there's no annual fee. American Express has a lot of fees that they charge on a lot of their cards, but the Blue Business Plus credit card from Amex has no annual fee. Plus, you can also earn 2% on all purchases up to $50,000 a year. If you hear my phone ringing, hold on one second here. That is my daughter right now. So in live webinar. Okay, so excuse me. The only time you'll ever hear my phone ring is when one of my kids is calling, because they had the ability to break through like all my silencing and everything else. And I'm sure you understand why. If they need me, they need me. And right now they're out with the dogs and her friends, and it's crazy. So we'll see if she needs me right now. Okay, so that being said, okay, so the Blue Business Plus credit card from American Express, you earn 2% points on all purchases up to $50,000 a year. So if you, then you're earning two times the points on that. I said 2%, so that's correct. You're earning 2 times the points on every purchase up to $50,000 in a year. You can earn American Express membership points where you can pay for purchases with points using PayPal. You can also redeem for gift cards, retail, restaurant, entertainment, travel, American Express gift cards as well. I use them for Amazon. I don't know about you, but I'm an avid Amazon user. So I use my Amex points to get Amazon credit cards. That's what I use for. And I literally get them $50 at a time, and they just accumulate. And I have like, I don't know how many. And then I plug them in, and basically all the Amazon purchases ultimately become free. So again, you can redeem those for gift cards, retail, restaurant, entertainment, travel, and American Express gift cards as well. You can also use it to book or upgrade travel. I oftentimes use my Amex points to do that. I use it to easily make it where I can upgrade to first class. Now, I don't have to sit in first class. I'm not a bougie. But the reality is, when I fly east to west coast, which I do a lot, and I'm in that plane for 3.5 to 6 hours, I want comfortable seats, especially if I'm flying at a time where I'd like to have a meal, etc., because I get a lot of work done on the plane. And I meet a lot of high-end people on the plane. I can't tell you how much business I've done sitting in first class. It's paid for itself. But I'll use my Amex points to do those kind of booking and those kind of upgrades as well. You can also transfer points to a participating loyalty program, and you can shop with your points. They have a store where you can buy all different kinds of things with those points as well. Now, that being said, these are just 3 accounts scratching the surface of what you can do with business credit. Let's not forget, a lot of this type of credit is available to you just because you're building a business credit profile. And a lot of this kind of credit becomes available to you without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check. And if you're really paying attention to everything we're talking about, you're seeing that you're getting 1% cash back, 3% cash back, 5% cash back. You're getting 1x, 2x, or more points on what you're actually buying. And all of this is just free money coming to you that you can use for anything, whether it be physical cash, buying all kinds of stuff, booking travel, upgrading travel, amongst many other things. So those are my 3. The Sam's Club Universal MasterCard, the credit card that you can use anywhere. Then we dove in and we talked about the Chase Bank Inc. Business Cash Card. This has the most rewards of almost any credit card I've ever seen. And then we wrapped up with the Blue Business Plus credit card from American Express. Woo! That's what happens when they have too many credit cards. They have to have like 5 different words in the name of the credit card. But those are 3 of my absolute favorites that I'm seeing smart business owners use now, because they're getting cash back, they're getting rewards, they're getting double points just on their normal spending, and they're able to use that for all kinds of cool ways to grow their business. So hopefully you got value from learning about these 3 credit cards. Don't forget, I'm going to throw it up one last time. You can also go right here to grab our guide. This is going to map out, it's 100% free, and it maps out the exact steps for you to successfully build business credit as well. Okay, so that being said, I want to answer any questions that you have. DD says, hey, I would be great if you do a lesson on how you make land purchases. That would be an awesome lesson. I might consider actually doing that. I have to get that to my team because I actually have a lot of experience in that. I got into land investing years ago, and I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm obsessed with it. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of acres of land that I've been able to purchase. So I might actually do a lesson on that because that's something I personally really enjoy. But the reason I don't talk about it a lot is it really honestly is very cash intensive. Meaning to buy land, once you build the system I built, then I get people come in all the time that send me a letter or call and say, yes, I want you to buy my land. And I got to be ready to buy it. So it takes a lot of upfront cash to be able to do it. But then you make a lot of money in returns. I usually buy a piece of land, for example, for $1,200 and sell for $5,000 or $6,000 on terms. But that's the reason maybe I don't talk about it a lot. But I like that suggestion. I should do that. And Dale says, hey, you're a big landowner. What would I want to be a developer is selling the land? I can't subdivide the land. I can't put mobile homes on it. Basically, it's a 14 acre for average purpose. Only one house allowed 80,000. Well, it just depends. In that case, if you can't subdivide it and you can't put mobile homes on it, it depends on what you're trying to do. But yeah, maybe you could build one house on it. That's not how I buy land. It's hard for me to give you value there, because typically how you'll buy land is you'll buy it in subdivisions where it's easy to develop that land, and you then sell it to builders. That's one of the easiest things to do in land. You buy it and then you sell it right back to builders buying that subdivision. Or like I do, I buy them and then I basically sell the land back on terms. I let somebody pay me over the course of 3 years, 5 years or longer. And then they oftentimes use that land for hunting, to build their own homes, etc. So hopefully that provides some value. Which Amex card is that? That is the Blue Business Plus. So it's called Blue Business Plus card from American Express. Okay. And EY says, hey, Ty, what methods do you recommend? Whoa, got a lot of questions coming in, so I'm trying to get. Hey, Ty, what questions do you recommend liquidating the hybrid credit card, especially for large purchases? Well, this is how all liquidation of credit cards take place, just so you know. Nobody tells you this. I don't know why this is such a secret. I don't know why people don't tell you this, but I'll tell you how they do it. They go to somebody that has a merchant account, and they have the person on the merchant account ping that credit card and then give them that cash back. So let me give you an example. Let's say my friend owns a stamp store. I just have a stamp on my desk, so that's where I got that from. Okay, so they own a stamp store. And I go to them and say, I have this credit card. I need to get $5,000 of the credit card. Will you just let me spend $5,000 at your store? I'm going to give you the credit card. You hit the credit card for a $5,000 charge. Then just give me the cash back, and I'll pay you an extra 1 or 2% fee or 3% fee. So that's exactly how it's done. Is they go to somebody that has a merchant account. The person with a merchant account processes that credit card, gives them the cash, and then they pay that person that did that some kind of 1 to 3% fee for the help in doing so. That's how almost all credit cards end up being liquidated. That's the methodology that almost all of them that you do that actually use. Okay, and DL says, hey, how do I pay for it but use it to make my money back if I can't split the land, sell it, can't build commercial properties on the acreage? Well, again, the problem you have, DL, is the kind of land you're buying. So that's the thing, is that if you got to think about the result of what you're buying land for before you get into it. You keep coming back to this 14 acres. I don't know what you bought that piece of land for. I know my intention before I get in. So if I'm buying land, for example, I have two purposes. I'm either buying small acreage, less than an acre, quarter acre lots and subdivisions that I planned on selling to a builder. That's my end goal, number one. Or my second end goal is I buy 10-acre plots with the intention of selling it to somebody on terms. I'm buying it cheap. I'm going to sell it to them for more money and let them pay me back on time. Those are my two reasons for doing it. Now, other people buy land and subdivide it. So you have to know the goal of what you're trying to do going in. My game in land has always been, I buy 10-acre plots at a time. Okay. And then I sell them to one individual, and those individuals use them for any number of different reasons: hunting, camping, building their own property. They have their own reasons for it. But then I'll buy it for $1,200, for example, sell it to them for $6,000 on payments of $100 to $300 a month until they pay it off. That's my goal. That's how I do it. I get my money back in the first year, and everything after that is gravy. That's my goal. So to answer your question, DL, you got to know the goal before you're getting into it. And DL says, what would you do? How would you make it work? If I were you in your situation, I'd find somebody that wants to buy that at a markup and let them pay you back over time, pay you back on terms. That's what I would do in that situation to answer your question. And Denise says, hey, which American Express card, American Express credit card wouldn't listen to me about a chargeback and the fact that I paid off my credit card every month, but a delayed charge popped up after my payoff? Me getting the person didn't help. Yeah, that definitely sucks. And if it happens, you can query that off by your credit report or LexisNexis. That might help you get approved as well. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Now you've learned about the 3 best business credit cards that smart business owners are using. Now, we've talked a lot about points. We've talked a lot about cash back and how you can dive into that to get all kinds of rewards. So make sure you keep an eye out for our next training. We talk about more cool ways to get the money you need to start and grow your business. Thanks